Hello and welcome to this edition of TMA's Farm Margin Talk. This is Devin Sherling, Grain Marketing Manager for TMA. Well, on this week's Farm Margin Talk, we're going to cover a quick update on our crop insurance base price and where those averages are at so far, and then we're going to focus on what that really means from profit per acre picture on your operation. But before we go into the Farm Margin Index, I just want to say how thankful we are for the little bit of rain that we did receive throughout the territory, and hopefully it continues to come. This is the first of many rains. So as we look at our Farm Margin Index for February the 8th, 2013, you'll notice that we saw a very significant decrease in our profitability and prices from last week to this week, with corn being off 30 cents a bushel, beans being off 46 cents a bushel, and wheat being off right at 15 cents a bushel. And as you can see, that made a major effect on all of our dry land and irrigated profitabilities. Once again, this is just the information based off of new crop cash prices at Groveland, Kansas, for a more detailed look at our Farm Margin Index. So as we look at our crop insurance base price through 30% of the averaging period, remember that base price is for corn and milo the average of the December futures over the month of February, and with soybeans it's the average of the November soybean futures over the month of February. And as you can see, through 30% of the averaging period, we are trading in that 581 to 569 range on corn and milo, and at 1328 for soybeans. So what does that mean on our farm? Well, if you have a 90 bushel APH and your expenses are $375 an acre, and you guarantee your farm's revenue with crop insurance using that 581 base price and 80% policy, if everything's perfect and you grow 90 bushel corn and the price stays where it's at 522 cash, you're going to make around $94 an acre. But as you can see, as your yield goes down, your profitability will suffer, but it's still 100% green versus being in the yellow. But many people say, well, Devin, my APH isn't quite as strong on corn because we just recently started growing corn. So if you back that down to 78 bushel APH, the risk for your operation dramatically changes. As you can see, if you grow that 78 bushel corn, which would be your average, and the price stays the same, you're going to be netting out about $32 an acre of profit. But if we have just a little hiccup in production, or the price falls a little bit more, you can see where you're in a serious situation. So what we preach is to not focus on those little events that pop up, but how do we manage that overall farm's revenue approach by looking at crop nutrients, your crop insurance, and grain marketing. So by just looking at selling enough bushels to cover your crop nutrient decision, you can see that although there's still yellow on there, we've increased our overall profitability by a fair amount. So the message is take advantage of the opportunities that you have and really look at how today's markets will affect your overall farming enterprise. So what's causing the market to move right now? Domestic markets are huge. We're seeing the ethanol plants and some of the bean processors actually having positive margins, which has helped with some local demand. The USDA report that came out today that was initially bullish for soybeans, but led to some technical retraction on soybeans as the market ended today, as well as exports. Are we going to continue to see exports moving, and what is that going to look like going forward for our demand picture? So for more additional information or to customize this information for your farm, feel free to contact one of TMA's grain marketing or crop insurance specialists. Thank you and have a great weekend.